now I've had a clearer communication with my guide, and I'm realizing just how far my guide has been helping me. And but he let me know that it is okay to want something. If you want something, as long as it does not infringe upon the rights of another, and as long as it's not injuring another person purposefully without their permission, that's what the universe desires to express itself through you. And you're going to keep wanting it until it is fulfilled, and until you move on. And as we progress as souls, what happens basically is our wants change. The things that you may want right now, food, sex, money, feeling superior maybe to others, all of these things that you want to feel importance, you're going to strive to achieve them, and you're going to have some bang-ups along the way, but eventually, you're going to feel all those things, and you're going to feel them to the point where you realize that that's not what you want anymore, and you're going to move on. It's like a child laying aside preschool toys, and if you keep pushing the toys, if the child keeps pushing the toys away because he's not supposed to be playing with them because they're bad, well, he's never going to outgrow them. In order to outgrow your toys, you got to play with them. And if you have to play with them for a long time, then play with them. But you're going to outgrow them. But you don't outgrow things by repressing them. And one of the things that I was saying earlier about the middle path is so many people will, especially in religions, they're trying to keep pushing us forward to a higher reality. It's like a force. They're a force within the whole entire human race that keeps pushing us and striving for more. Now, I have to tell you, as a personal story, I studied yoga, and under meditative yoga, I read a lot of Paramahansa Yogananda, and he is a great teacher from the East. And as I tried to live his Eastern philosophy of being an ascetic, a renunciate, awakened by pushing away these mundane wants, all that I got really out of it was guilt, because I kept wanting things that he said I couldn't have. So then I felt that I was not as good as him. And that wasn't true. There are different paths. There is the path that most Westerners take, and it might be a lot slower. It might be a lot slower in a reawakening to your oneness with your higher self and with the universe and with everything that is around you. It is a lot slower. But you know what? God experiences a lot more through that path. God experiences the gauntlet of everything through that path of giving God what God desires through you, and then outgrowing it. Now you're going to see two different philosophies if you study Eastern cultures and Western cultures. You're going to see the Eastern cultures tell you to repress it. Don't eat meat. Don't have sex. Gandhi, I love Gandhi. I've read a lot of Gandhi, but Gandhi only had sex like once a year, and that was with his wife, and that was to have a child, and that was it. I can't live that way. Well, could I? Yeah, but I'm going to end up feeling ashamed of myself, unworthy, and he's not balanced. I know I don't want to step on any Easterners, but I have to tell you, Gandhi was a great philosopher, a great teacher, and there are many like him. But Gandhi, bless his heart, was not balanced. He's not balanced at all. And in fact, I sometimes wonder if people like Gandhi later reincarnate as maybe a hooker or something. I don't know. But you've got to face everything. You can't just repress. And you will outgrow your toys. It's inevitable. The universe is not. You're not going to be stuck in preschool. You're not going to be stuck in grade school. The universe doesn't work that way. But you will feel stuck, and you will feel ashamed if you repress the things that the universe is desiring to express itself through you as. So these were all kind of new thoughts for me. But I could see it. Now, there's one more thing I'd like to discuss, though, is there is a difference between wants, needs, and addictions. Now, you could go overboard and say, well, every want is an addiction. Our job is to, get rid of any want because we're going to call all wants addictions. That's not true. That's totally just throwing the baby out with the bathwater. But there are some things that you don't really want, but you can't put down because it's an addiction. And one of those things is, like, for me, I'm ashamed to admit it, you wouldn't probably think this from me, but, you know, during times of my life where I become very stressed out, or I'm going through a depression or something like that, I smoke. I can't believe it, huh? I smoke. And, you know, and I'll pick up cigarettes for a month. One time I picked it up for 6 months. You know, I did that a couple times. And then I'll just push them aside. I don't want it anymore. I start feeling good. I don't want it anymore. And it just kind of slips away. I don't even desire it. In fact, when I try to quit smoking, and the times when I have tried, I can't do it. It's like, I can't do it. I got to buy a patch, and then I'm pulling off my cigarette, my nicotine patch, and trying to smoke a cigarette at the same time, because I'm pushing away something I really want. But what inevitably happens is, as you become happy again, you don't want it. You outgrew it. And that's something that I've hopefully outgrown for good. I'm still working on it right now. But these are things that I'm trying to teach, is that, like, if you put away cigarettes, you're going to find out that after 3 or 4 days, you really don't want it in the first place. It only took about 3 or 4 days, and you don't want it. And that's because there was some kind of a serious chemical reaction going on in your body. Now, that's an addiction. Okay? Now, people can be addicted to sex, too. Because sex is a chemical reaction as well. And I'm going to give you my own philosophy on an addiction. And I could be wrong, and maybe my guide will straighten me out later. But I really think an addiction is a problem when it begins to disrupt your life, take away from the beauty of your life. And cigarettes can do that because they'll shorten your life. So that's an addiction. But you'd have to decide that for yourself. What's the life that you desire to live? And you know, addictions will creep in. Any kind of addiction, food addiction, sex, drugs, any type of an addiction will come in, and it will overtake the life that you want to live. That's an addiction. Because the truth is, the universe is trying to live a life through you, which may include all those things, and include them, and it wants you to enjoy those things, not drugs necessarily, but I'm just saying, you know, it wants you to enjoy food, it wants you to enjoy sex, it wants you to enjoy exercise, it wants you to enjoy these things, but people can then start to form their whole entire life around one of those avenues and lose focus of the whole purpose of why they're here. To me, that's an addiction. Now, Gandhi would say that the husband or wife, or the man or the woman, or the man and the man, whoever, the woman and the woman, who have sex every day, well, they're addicts. I don't really think so. I mean, that's just my personal opinion. If that's the life they want to lead, yeah. But what if they can't even hold down a job because of it? What if it's causing them to participate in behavior that's going to put them in prison, or hurt other people? And now they've totally lost focus of their life. Now that's an addiction. So basically, I know this is kind of long-winded, but I want to just recap by saying that don't be ashamed of the things you want. You are a mirror reflection, a minute mirror reflection of the great cosmos. And you are here to experience what it means to exist. And nothing is bad unless you judge it to be so. And hey, that's something Jesus said. Nothing's, bad unless you judge it to be so. Then it's bad because you just judged it. But in the reality, I don't know. Anyways, I hope this might have helped somebody. I'm going to post some more videos on this channel. And also I wanted to thank my guide too. He's a very wonderful soul. And I love him very much. And so from here on out, whatever I bring up to you is going to be from him. And if I ever screw up, he'll let me know, I'm sure. So anyways, I love you. Bye-bye.